Take Alpha 2.
You know, it's my first day on day 0.
What?
So
First day?
Yeah. So it's exciting. I've never
fun yet?
done anything like it, so this is exciting. New. It's all brand new to me. So I'm giddy like a schoolboy.
Oh yeah.
It's so much fun. It's awesome.
Yeah, I jacked it up.
Is that it?
Yes.
It's a blast. I've been learning a lot. It's exciting. Get to do what I love to do. My passion, baby.
Action!
Tiras?
Day Zero is a post-apocalyptic show. It takes 100 years in the future from now, based off of a nuclear war. So Day Zero is World War IV. It's not a zombie show, but we have the consequences of this war created a radiation fallout. There's a biochemistry element here that turned those who didn't die directly from the nukes into what we call hybrids. And these hybrids, they're not zombies because they're still alive. They've just changed. And so there's that radiated look that we try to give all of the hybrids. There's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing going on because there's a cure for that. But there's some that we call carriers. They can infect others.
By treating the wounds, the regular hybrids shouldn't infect us.
We're now focusing this season on this sort of ragtag bunch that has ties to DC.
With Ben on the inside, we definitely have the upper hand. But right now, we need to concentrate on rebuilding the Confederacy.
Nobody wants to talk about it, you know? Like they're afraid or whatever. So I want to talk about a new, South, and the things I talk about, it seems like some of it's coming true. Some of the predictions. I play the role of Jim Lecter. He is a scientist and a doctor in neurology, mostly, and a little bit of some biochem.
Was to take over this country.
Not only that, but be president of your nation and known as the hero that cured the hybrids. And how do you propose he does that?
My name is Bill Gillane, and I play Ben Lott on Day Zero. I think it's kind of interesting that up until this episode that we're filming right now, I was the oldest guy on set, I think. And that's kind of fun. I'm kind of the father figure, kind of the trusted advisor. And everybody who watches it, my friends and family and that kind of thing, still haven't quite figured out if I'm a good guy or a bad guy. So that's kind of fun. I like the opportunity to work with other actors, and because I do teach acting classes, if I can offer some help or assistance, then I'm more than willing to do that. But I also find out very quickly whether actors are open to that or not, and if they are, then Cal seems to be open to allowing me to pull them aside and kind of work with them a little bit so that their performance is the best that it can be, which helps the overall episode.
Day Zero to me is a post-apocalyptic television drama that I have always wanted to be a part of. Day Zero has that spark and that uniqueness, and it stands out on its own from most film television productions, which I find is very fascinating, especially when they're winning this many awards, and especially when they're actually trying very hard to reach an audience, to grasp the concept of reality that sometimes it's just not easy to reach our goals. But that's what makes us push us more forward. We actually have goals, we accelerate, we build on. What makes me come to set every day is the fact that I get to do what I enjoy doing. One of the reasons why I thoroughly enjoy this set the most is because I get to interact with different people and to be able to contribute my talent in something that I really believe in. Because sometimes we just come up with all these interesting schemes to kind of make things interesting for the set and for the backdrop. If we want to create an environment in which Day Zero can actually thrive, we want to kind of match that to big budget, productions that are out there today.
Where are you?
I'm right here.
My name's Colin McDermott, and my role in Day Zero is Tiras Abel.
My favorite thing about Day Zero is the fact that I get to look like a badass all the time, and that's about it. That's about my favorite thing. I mean, I have never shot a gun in my life, and in Day Zero I've shot all sorts of guns, and that's kind of cool. So really, I think I just like getting to play with guns and not actually kill people. We're all in it for the love of it, and that makes it something more special. I don't know. I mean, it's the intimacy here is something I've learned is a good thing about filmmaking. So it's a sort of a misconception that people think that if you have a lot of money, you're gonna have a better product or you're gonna have a better production. That's not the case. And that's what I've learned from Day Zero. This word independent, it's hard to wrap my mind around, because I worked on independent movies that have huge actors. Like Robert Duvall was just in an independent movie that I worked on that had almost no budget, and that's independent. Day Zero, this is truly independent, because it's dependent. It's not independent. We're dependent filmmakers. We depend on each other. We depend on everyone to just chip in and be there. And I mean, I remember in the beginning, it was a little bit scary to think, am I really going to be filming this for 2 or 3 years of my life? Because it's not like you can't just film an entire season in 4 weeks like you normally do or something like that. It's, I don't know, it's a little bit more complicated than that. And I like them because they have heart. At the end of the day, I've worked on a lot of soul-sucking things, and I would rather be here getting to be with the people that I like working with, rather than being paid to work with people that I don't really care for too much.
My name is Tony Fisher, and I've been the special effects makeup artist for Day Zero since I was 17, or season 1, episode 1. Devin, Sky, or Rachel, she invited me to come because she knew that I was interested and invested in doing special effects makeup, and I'd been doing it for a while, and that I did an apprenticeship in it, and I was involved. So she invited me to come on set one day, and I've been with them ever since. It's awesome with Day Zero because I have almost like a timeline to see my skills progress, and all the experience I've been able to gain from Day Zero has been immense in helping me with my career. And there's more a sense of community that I've noticed, rather than with bigger budget productions. You'll find a lot of times nobody even knows anybody's name on set, and there'll only be like 11 guys on set, and you're like, well, that's kind of weird. But here, it's kind of like, it's more of a family feel, more friends, and everybody's here because they're passionate, and that's awesome to me. I like to be as grounded in reality as possible with my effects, so if somebody gets their side of their face cut off, I wanted to make sure that what looks like underneath is what it would look like in real life. And well, I guess I love with Day Zero specific. I love that Day Zero happens. You can work on a lot of projects and never ever see the light of day, but Day Zero consistently comes out. If I know that if I'm going on set and I'm doing something and I'm shooting something, I'm gonna get to see what I was working on, and that's an awesome feeling to have that confidence in the producers and the directors and the editors, who all in this case happens to be Cal, because he's reliable, and it's awesome, just awesome to get to know that what you're doing isn't being done for nothing. I love that it's narrative, story driven. I enjoy watching it come together because it's been tough for me. Sometimes I'll get a script, or sometimes I won't see it till the day of. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I've got as much possible to be like, let's see how we can make this work. It's a lot of there's a lot of improvisation that goes into independent filmmaking, which is awesome. It's an excellent example to other filmmakers out there that regardless of budget or connections, if you have the drive, you can make movies, you can make TV, you can make whatever you want.
My favorite part about working on Day Zero is probably the broad variety of cast members I get to work with, because there's so many different people involved. My favorite thing about Day Zero is probably just having fun and being able to escape from reality and pretend to be in an apocalypse with a whole bunch of my friends. So, I don't know, it's a good time. Escaping reality. Day Zero's probably taught me just to go with the flow and to be open to change. I always like to bring a little bit of vulnerability. I feel like nowadays a lot of people say lines and just kind of live the scene, but it's really nice when people are vulnerable and they're really there and they're really with the other actor giving them that. And because I love it when my fellow actors give me their vulnerability, I guess.
How can you be this confused?
I just don't know who to trust.
Working on independent productions as a whole is really nice because you get to work with so many different people as far as crew, and everyone is just starting film, or maybe not just starting, but they're still exploring and they're still trying to find new things about film. And so it's just really exciting, and you see a lot of things in independent film that you would never see in grand scale films, so it's really fun.
My name's Mario DeAngelis. My role in Day Zero changes from episode to episode. Sometimes I show up and they need a first AD, and that is one of the things that I primarily do in the film industry. So some days I show up like today and I'm first AD and running camera. So I'm a camera operator by trade, I'm a first AD by trade, so sometimes I show up, that's what they need, so that's what I do. My favorite part of working on Day Zero is it's challenging because we may get the scripts like a couple days before. Not really because of this like proprietary thing like secrecy, just because of the way things are. Cal's very busy and doing the whole show pretty much by himself. So sometimes we don't get the script really early. And if I don't have time to study, I figure out what's happening when we show up. So it's a little challenging to do it that way, but it is a way to do it. But everyone is very nice. Day Zero has shown me that you're always learning. You have to have an open mind with a project that has no budget and different people every episode, just the way it gets done. But you have to be open to the process is my answer. It just reestablishes that you still need to always be open to different process because every set's different. Overall, what I most enjoy about Day Zero is the independent feel, the fact that Cal gets these things out. He doesn't just sit on them. Some people, not just in Utah, but some filmmakers work really hard on something and it sits. But Cal works very hard to get these episodes out. I don't ever help him in post. It's my helping him is in the production phase. He cuts these things and does all the color correction and all the sound mixing. He does all of that, and that's very difficult. So one of the things I enjoy the most is that it gets out. That you see those IMDb credits on something that is actually on Tough TV right now. It's actually being shown. Are people watching it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's getting out there. He's getting it done. He's not just sitting on it, and he's open to letting you use the footage for your reels. He's not covetous of his assets.
It's too quiet.
So that's the thing I love the most, is that it's getting out there and he's doing things. You know, he's doing it. He's not just talking about it. He's actually making a web series, not just talking about it. So that's what I like the most.
She's pretty about like 6 inches away from you. She should be close. She'll be like.
My name's John Cruz, and I play General Cain.
Yeah, I'm gonna try both your hands.
I like coming back to this set each time because, one, there's a great group of actors, and it's a great cast and crew here. So when you have that type of atmosphere, when people are really committed to doing the best job they possibly can with the resources they have, it's nothing but good. And so who wouldn't want to be part of that atmosphere? So it's just always a delight and pleasure to be part of that. You know, what I really like about Day Zero is how the story is developing. It's not predictable in a way because there's things that take place that come in that fit so beautifully into the storyline. So it's really fun to get the new script and to fit the character into what's unfolding for that episode.
I want you to take Namaah. Better take Tiras too. Secure the front entrance. Elizabeth's already there.
Are you sure you can trust that yank?
No?
How I perceive
General Cain would be. He's kind of a mixed bag because he cares for his daughter, who's always at danger, but then he's leading an army of people that he's got to be strong for, he's got to enforce, he's got to set standards. So
General Cain has an interesting role in this story. He is the leader of a group that he's trying to organize in taking back what he feels right for the country. So it's a very undisciplined group of people with very unusual circumstances that he has to work with. So he compromises himself in different ways that you might not see a general do in other scenarios. So it's a very interesting role and character as he keeps developing new techniques and ways to ultimately achieve the goal he's trying to get. This has a lot of story to unfold because the main theme is the theme we all enjoy, is survival. It's how do we become our best under extreme circumstances. You'll see a lot of stories carrying that line, and Day Zero carries that in a very special way.
Party's over.
Everyone get down!
My name's Corey Sondrup, and I play Sergeant Major Daniels of the Confederate Army. Now I'm still trying to figure out my place because there's so many twists and turns. Okay.
Back is beginning to falter. It hurts me every time I'm awake. I'm still the rock of Gibraltar. Awesome. Soon will be the day I go away.
Yeah, it works pretty good. It seems to work pretty good.
The mints are driving me crazy. My buzz is starting to fade away.
Move around.
Wish I wasn't so damn lazy. Been drinking all through the day. Now it's a killing me. I just can't seem to do the things I want to. Time is running free.
You're fine.
There ain't no change.
There we go.
Balls you can hold on to.
Better. Good.
Wait, where's mine? Ready to kill the dog?
What I brought, I patterned Daniels, since he was a Southerner, I basically patterned him after Dennis Quaid's role of Doc Holliday in White Herb. So I kind of was using his gestures and mannerisms and voice and brought that to the table.
The way's what got us here. South needs rebels, not diplomats. It's just so weak.
My daughter wants to do acting, but she doesn't want to do extra work. Who do you recommend? She says, well, you need to get hooked up with such and such. While you're at it, have her represent you too. I says, I'm a doctor, I'm not an actor, And she says, well, you got a unique look. We can find work for you. And that was October 2012, and since then, a couple of short films later, a couple of feature films, a couple of commercials, and Day Zero, I've done all these projects. My poor sweet daughter hasn't had anything, so it's kind of a sore spot for her. But I didn't realize it was a passion for me. It's a blast. You get to meet all these great people. It's a network, and I'm having a ball.
My name is Jaclyn Easton, and my character's name is Sergeant Majors. Everyone on this project is really come together because they love the story. And I think that a lot of the time, sometimes we just take jobs because we have to. But everybody's here really because they wanted to be, and I think that that kind of shows in the product in the end. I think Majors plays into the story in a way that she's kind of this supportive power to everything that's going on in the militia side of the story. I think she does the best she can to kind of help see that everything fits together with what's going on with the conflict between power at the time.
Don't seem right. It's gotta be a trap.
I think I'm more Asian than Cal is. We've had this discussion. So I just want to go on record saying that. Because he's horrible at doing laundry, he never eats sushi with me, and I do yoga and he doesn't, so there you go.
That was probably, are you rolling? No. That was probably the worst rehearsal ever.
Oh, he's doing that.
Jesus
He's doing it behind
Christ.
the scenes.
All right, let's go.
I thought they hit all the lines. I thought it was good. I'm not sitting down.
What did you do?
Awesome.
Did you flip me off?
She didn't do that even worse.
My name is Tamara Haller, and I am in the
makeup department for Day Zero here. I also kind of help out with the costumes and when they need a patch or something like that sewn on it. The best part of Day Zero is that I really do feel that we're a family here. I enjoy coming to set. I bring my son to set and he enjoys being here. That's something that I feel is really different, in that everybody laughs, goofs off, has fun. It's very relaxed, and so because of that relaxed environment, I think we create a lot of really cool things. It's something I take pride in. It's something I enjoy. It's something that I look forward to doing every week and being here. And it means a lot to me. It's very close to my heart, and I care about the characters, I care about the crew. Day Zero is great. I love it. I wouldn't come every week if I didn't love it, and I wouldn't bring my son and have my son involved if I didn't love it. So.
I'm David Bodtcher, and I play Chaplain Amos on Day Zero. Chaplain Amos is a civilian chaplain that's tied to General Cain's group. Chaplain Amos's role for the series in the future, I think I see him as continuing to bring back the religious aspect into place, or a time period when a lot of people seem to lose faith due to the hardships going on in Day Zero. What's different about Day Zero is that it shows a lot of the, I guess, actual feelings and thoughts of people in these bad situations.
I'm sure they'll be all right. I mean, they fled, didn't they?
It's the ones who stayed. They're all martyrs for the Almighty.
Chaplain Amos is there on the side to help with a lot of the other major characters. So he's there as the kind of voice of reason for them. So whenever they need some help, Chaplain Amos ends up showing up in the show.
He was a patriot, and the South End will miss him.
Bless your heart, sugar. Now, we've been through a lot, y'all, but this ain't too much for our God. So count your blessings.
How to get my start in acting? I started with voice acting. I really enjoy that. That's a lot of fun. I started there. Been loving it, and decided I'd give a shot at the film acting, so came in and started with Day Zero. Utah indie scene getting huge. A lot of people getting into this film, and it's getting very good. I'm sure you can also see as Day Zero continues to progress, and I think it kind of leads some of the limelight with the indie film here in Utah.
My character's name is Sarah Edwards, and I am initially the hybrid and their first test subject to see if they can find a cure.
You're crazy. I'm not going to do that. At least give me a gun.
Don't worry, we've got you covered.
As they go along, it looks from the outside like she's cured, but she has minor relapses. The hybrid strain is still within her, and so they end up sending her out. One of the guys gets orders to kill her, but Tiras is the guy that gets the orders to kill me, but he ends up killing a hybrid instead and sparing my life. And in the process of trying to find my home, I run into a man that really helps me understand the religious aspects of things, and I start to have an understanding for God, and I realized that, you know, this what I initially thought was a curse could actually be a blessing, and I could use it to help others and to possibly save others. I guess you could say my character in the future might be viewed as Little Miss Hulk. She doesn't really have any family or anything, and she feels obligated to use this power to help others. And it also, when the hybrid instincts kick in, she gets these superhuman powers, and her strength's increased, and she can sense things around her, sense hybrids that are about to attack and such. Well, one of the things that's different is Cal, he doesn't give us an entire script for the season, and so we get the sides for that weekend that we're going to shoot. So we kind of have to develop our character along the way. We don't have a whole storyline. Well, we have some storyline, but we don't have the whole storyline for the entire
show, which in some ways is nice because you can develop that character as you go and, you know, get surprises along the way. You find out, hey, I'm really like this, who knew? You know, one of the best things about coming to this set is just everyone that's involved, the crew, the cast. We've become really close, I think, and we have great friendship here. And you know that you have to be close and good friends when you can run 11 hours behind schedule and you still like each other and you come back the next week. But yeah, it's great to be able to work with people and that are all friends together. I'm grateful for the opportunity I've had to be able to work on Day Zero. I'm grateful for Cal for trusting me to bring this character to life and for giving me the opportunity to do so, because being a part of this production has granted me 2 awards I've won from being a part of Day Zero. And so I'm very grateful for that. And I'm so happy for the friendships I've made on this show and just being able to perfect our craft and work on our craft. You know, that's the only way we get better is by working at it. And
we are ready.
We're ready to go?
Ready to go.
Yeah! Cal, gates unlocked.
This here on the camera is the camera's built on.
You do?
Camera!
Yay!
Hey, watch this.
Camera.
Ready? Ready? I am Nyk Fry, and in this particular production, I play Phares, the evil nemesis. I think it's a work in progress. I'll be interested to see what the next versions, you know, the subsequent series of this will bring forth, because at the moment he is clearly a manipulative, megalomaniac psychopath. Drop it! How he fits in and how that can work in with the mix with the other characters and what their reactions are and whether he really is who he is, I guess remains to be seen. The United Nations can have no witnesses to Sarah. We knew you had her held up here, but you managed to mess that up, didn't you?
What do you want, Phares?
It's a little bit like a spice that might blind you or something. You know, like you'll take away a part of your brain. He is almost Shakespearean. That's how I'm approaching it, as the evilness. Try not to go too much. Make him being a self-grounded person who believes what he is doing is the right and proper thing. Partly it's an excuse to do the things which are in his soul, which is a dark soul, but he believes in it. He's really just trying to do it. He's sort of a mercenary. I think if you paid him enough, he would switch sides. Day Zero is different because of the way that Cal approaches it, which is it's sort of just all have a bunch of fun, and I think that should be what comes across on screen. On an overall sense, Day Zero is also different because it has kept going for as long as it has. This shows a lot of passion. We're in it because we like to do this. Varying degrees of skills and experience, and you know, are we Hollywood ready? Who knows? But we like to do it. It's a passionate thing. In terms of what I can contribute, I started off just helping Cal and doing a little bit of camera, a little bit of lighting. And we were just talking about that, and the joke was on those JAG ads that said, isn't it interesting that all of the evil people in films are played by British people? And so we thought, well, let's just capitalize on that, and you know, have some on-camera experience, and here we are.
Yeah, I'm doing figure eights with that thing as fast as it'll go, and it's keeping that image nice and smooth and clear. So
my name's Ryan Duffy, and I am a jack of all trades here on Day Zero. I've been doing some lighting, some camera work, jib operator, so trying to fill multiple roles. Getting to actually work with the camera and seeing a shot and then having an idea that pops into my head, thinking, you know what might look really good with this shot? Let's do it from this angle, or hey, we can do a jib shot coming down and this will look really neat. And getting to give a little bit of input artistically into it. And I think that makes a difference there. Seeing something at a different angle that someone else didn't see it in. Most of my projects I've worked on was me solo doing stuff. So this is actually the first set I've worked on as an actual crew member. So I can't really compare it to many other things. It's been a learning experience. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from a fellow named Nyk Fry on lighting and different terminology and stuff. So this whole thing has been a learning experience, and getting to meet people that are also doing it to try and expand. What motivates me? I made a promise. That's a big motivation. I'm in being committed to something too. I don't like people that will start on a project with you and then bail on you. So I got into this and I told Cal to be committed to showing up and helping out and doing all this stuff. So it's that commitment aspect of it, and I think a little bit of that comes from the military background, and I honestly do have fun here. The guys here are fun, joking around. I've met some awesome people sitting on this set, and I think I do contribute quite a bit, as much as I can. I'm Cal's runaround guy for a bunch of stuff, getting some lights for him set up, with the assistance of other people, helping get his camera set up. Show would still happen without me, but I think I have fun.
Well, you supply the drone.
Yeah, I got the drone. Those aerials, those beautiful flowing aerial shots that wouldn't be possible without me.
Well, there you go.
It's off auto right now, so I'm adjusting it myself. So I had to set to auto. Then I just control the exposure.
Yeah, and then no matter what it is over the roof, it's just gonna.
Yeah, it should have stayed on that. 'Cause that's what I had it at down here. But for some reason, when I went over, it changed there, which it shouldn't be doing. You should be staying on an automatic exposure. Yeah, I got about one more shot left in this battery.
Okay, let's do.
I got 3 more batteries.
Okay, let's do that thing, same thing. The roof.
One more shot left.
But I got like 3 more batteries. So it doesn't even matter.
I'm gonna stick with it. I'm having fun on set. Sometimes nights go quite long, but I'm looking forward to seeing the final product of this season 2 and looking forward to a season 3.
Okay, so I play Agent Tobit, and he's a complex character. He works for the general, kind of secret service, secret agent, or private security type thing. He basically does all the general's dirty work, takes care of stuff, holds guns on people, handles security. I see Tobit as a guy that wants to take care of himself in the post-apocalyptic world, as well as handling dirty business. As far as Day Zero goes, right now it's a privately funded effort and way underfunded, I'm assuming. It's pretty impressive what Cal has been able to do with that. I mean, as far as the production quality, Cal writes, directs, does a little bit of everything, coordinates and keeps the whole thing going, keeps it all together, and that's just totally impressive to me. I think really well put together. I just learn more and more every day. One of my goals in being on Day Zero and other filming that I'm doing right now is to absorb as much as I can. And we have new challenges every week, and it's just exciting to learn new stuff and just to be a part of it.
My name's Amy Buchanan, and I am playing Deborah Cunningham. My character is very interesting. She's kind of nutty. I think you get a lot more opportunities to learn all the different areas of film. You get to help out when you're not acting. You're doing other things. You're trying to be useful.
Episode 9, Scene 8, Alpha 1. Take off.
It's always good to practice. So it gives you a lot of practice since you have to keep coming back, and it's an ongoing thing. And being able to work with lots of different people teaches you a lot as well.
I was an actor when Kelsey Swenson came up with the concept, and she created the first basic outline of the first 10 episodes of season 1, and I got cast as Jim Lecter. And so what happened was, when we were filming, it stopped, and things just started happening where we lost some material.
What? Just came to check up on you, Grumpy. Still standing.
Very observant, Archimedes.
Well done.
Yeah, come here. Let me see you.
Come here.
And she was going to hand it off to somebody, but I asked her, like, I don't want this, this is getting delayed, we're getting pushed back, I don't want it to die, so why don't I, take over, so I bought out the copyright and the first 10 scripts. And so, and I reworked it a little bit, I modified it a little bit and just made it my own as the creator of the series, because we recast, everybody.
She's got HIV already. It's got teen prostitute written all over it.
I turned it into, something new into season 2, though, so now I'm the writer of every episode. We've kept like Tony Fisher, from season 1, and because he's progressed, and he's still here, motivated to help us and everything. I have been an actor since the late 90s. I was out in NorCal, and I started on Hollywood films, but mostly extra work, and then I did some commercials. And then when I went to Utah after I separated from the Air Force, I concentrated on acting again, but then I had the filmmaking bug, 1 year later, like 2011. So 2010 and then 2011, I was like, once I started doing Day Zero, I just got the filmmaking bug, and so I helped on some other sets here and there, like short films. But once I got this going, I just got stuck in doing this. So acting, for this, from my own writing, has been really, really cool, because it's hard. It's hard to get cast, and so I don't want to sit around. I'm not going to sit around. So this is like one way for me to continue that, that streak, really. Working on Day Zero has, affected my filmmaking progression. When I just started, I picked up the camera in 2011 and just started filming this series. We were green, most of us were green. And in season 1, it was a big learning curve, right? It was a great training ground. This season, we've started getting more traction from a crew, because in season 1, it was mainly just me and Tim Sabuco on set, and sometimes we got PAs. We had to use the actors to do clapping and things like that. So now we're in a bigger environment, I'm more free to focus on things, either acting, in it, or just being the director, the producer, the writer, and then of course the editor. But it's freeing, because being on set is really where the change occurred. And we're getting stuff like snow, like real snow, on location stuff that you don't get. Nobody else really does that, right? Especially Hollywood. Let's get some fake snow, controlled environment, let's do a sound stage or whatnot. I don't do that. And I think people like, I think they like that, and I just do it because it's the most inexpensive way to film. And we've got a lot of great talent here, on the filmmaking side and performing side too. And I'm really, really impressed by that, those who came to audition, and of course our guys.
Okay, scene 8-4, Alpha 5 mark. And action!
Let's talk about this.
Why do you think we're taking it over, Cain? Gonzalez, teach him a lesson.
What I enjoy most about Day Zero is just it's fun, for one thing. I feel I'm challenged by it, that I can produce a good product, tell a good story, and I don't do it for like the world. I don't do it for anyone or anything, and I don't even do it for myself. Cast and crew, I do for them, but for story, I do it for God, to fill that purpose in my life, and to help people. Eventually, I hope they see, they watch it and they say, there's some kind of a, something they can take from it that will help them in their lives, and maybe eventually see the truth of things. Because we were growing up in, a lot of us in public school, and public schools funded by the government, they don't tell you all the truths out there, and they have all the history books, and they basically avoid certain truths, in my opinion. And so I bring that out, and I'm not hammering anybody, This is how they're living. What are they basing how they live on? What was in the past, you know, and that wasn't told, you know. So that, and you'll see that in the Confederate storyline, for example. They just basically shot that aside, the whole you know, South history, the heritage there, and nobody wants to talk about it, you know, like they're afraid or whatever. So I want to talk about a new, you know, South, and that's what we've been doing recently, and so we know that they had a theocracy, right, and so totally different, right, than the North, you know. Yeah. Some of the challenges of keeping Day Zero going is funding, of course. We are all volunteer set, of course, and that I totally appreciate from everybody. And I couldn't do without them. That's the biggest thing, and it's coming out of my pocket, so I hope that people see that, oh, it's a good set, you know, we're a good, nice, fun cast and crew, and we are, and that we also, people are motivated to come because of the story. It always starts from the writing, it has to. Everyone else, you know, with bigger budgets, they're gonna do some crazy effects and stuff. I don't do green screen, I don't do, you know, it's actual CGI. Or anything like that, and I'm just basic, you know, but with as much as I could get out of, you know, action shots and things like that, and post-production effects, to convey, you know, this type of world. And I think the thing about continuing the series is a matter of like keeping us in the limelight, really. You know, it's keeping everyone their skills engaged, you know, and practiced. It's something that keeps me my stress level down, because I work a regular 40-hour job, you know, and a lot of us do, you know. I'm telling the story through what the Holy Spirit, you know, has told me to do, and you'll see that in the dialogue. It's spiritually inspired because of that.
We're supposed to kill innocent humans with no regard for their right to exist? Is that what you want on your conscience, Ben? Tell me! Innocent? Really?
I want the message of redemption and forgiveness, you know, to be a big part of this show, and it always has to be some kind of moral, you know, to the story. But there's, I wanted to ramp it up because a lot of people don't do like enough action, for example, in their series, web series or TV series, whatever it is. I hope I can make this a career.
I want to leave my job and do this full time.
Not until we take our country back.
So I think Day Zero has many more stories to unfold that will just capture the audience.
Day Zero, I think it's a great show. I think everyone's going to love it. It's going to keep, with the twists and turns coming, it's going to start getting some people drawn on board. They'll love it.
Just have fun. If you're not having fun, find a way to have fun. If that doesn't work, find something else.
Watch Day Zero. It's a great show, and hopefully we'll have a season 3.
I think if you want to know what happens with my character, you're going to have to watch this series to find out.
Main camera.
Yay, Mario!
Ooh. Ooh.
Zero!